So Evan Jones from the University of Idaho is our next presenter.
Thank you. All right, folks, let's take a trip to the grocery store and walk ourselves down the seafood aisle. We'll probably see some Atlantic salmon, and since we're in Idaho, we're definitely going to see some steelhead. We might see some catfish or some shrimp too. It's increasingly likely that a lot of this food came from fish farms, or what I'm going to call aquaculture. The world is becoming more and more reliant on aquaculture in order to produce fish for human consumption. However, this industry as a whole loses greater than $10 billion annually due to preventable diseases. And much of this fish loss occurs within the first 6 months of their lives. So the normal tools we have to prevent those diseases, something like everybody's favorite word right now, vaccines, aren't able to be easily given to those small susceptible fish. Most aquaculture vaccines are injectable, and that makes them really labor intensive, which makes them very expensive. And they're also very stressful to the fish. Now, can you imagine trying to vaccinate a 1-inch fish with a 1-inch needle? It's quite the task for both the farmer and the fish. The holy grail of vaccine technology would actually be an oral vaccine that we can just ingest. So picture yourself at the pharmacist, and instead of waiting for our COVID shot, we can just take a pill and be on our way. That's essentially what we're trying to do in fish. But current oral vaccines in fish are made with tiny vaccine particles that are coated on top of the food before feeding it to the fish. Those tiny particles are easily lost to the water, ensuring that the fish never receives the full dose of the vaccine, and they can be easily destroyed in the stomach. And the tricky part about oral vaccines is that that particle needs to make it to the intestine, and that's where it can stimulate the antibody response and the immune protection. What researchers at Oregon State University have done is develop a fish vaccine pill that's the same size as the fish food and has some added flavors to it to help the fish key in and eat it. This encapsulation technique should also provide some protection for the vaccine during its passage through the stomach into the intestine. In my research, I'm going to feed this oral vaccine pill to sablefish, a marine species, and rainbow trout, which is a freshwater species. And we're going to compare that antibody level and immune response and the protection afforded from that vaccine, from that oral vaccine, to other vaccines such as injection-based. If that oral vaccine pill can provide a similar amount of antibody response and immune protection, it will greatly reduce the costs of vaccination programs for fish farms and allow them to vaccinate those really small, susceptible fish. Overall, it should increase the efficiency of fish farms greatly. And if we can do this, it will lower the production costs of those aquaculture farms, leading to lower prices of fish at the grocery store for us. Thank you.
Right under the wire. Good job. Anyway, I'm excited about this. I'm a big seafood fan, and if it lowers the cost of the food I want to eat, that's a great thing. So how much have you interacted with people in the aquaculture industry? And I think of like the Magic Valley, where a lot of the trout farms are. Have you had a chance to work with any of the leaders in that side of the house?
So I've actually worked with them on finding the specific bacteria that I'm going to use to protect these fish against. But my background is actually mostly with state agencies, and that's more growing fish for recreation purposes. But it's all kind of the same good husbandry, best management practices that all of these aquaculture facilities and fish farms need to follow in order to get healthy fish out there.
So have there been any, as part of your research, have you done any scenarios where you predict how much money they might save? Or do you have to get to the point where you've got the pill first?
Yeah, well, right now, so this is just kind of the proof of concept for this vaccine pill. But I mean, the cost of their automatic vaccination machines, that cost a lot of money. And then when you factor in the labor just of handling the fish and vaccinating them, it's going to be a lot of savings for producers.
Right. So. It seems like it.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with your work. I hope it comes to be. Thank you.
Thank you.